actually met my second husband here. Our son went to CU. And nobody asks that question that you get on the East Coast. It's also, the second question is, where'd you go to college? And then there's a certain elitism if you didn't go to the Ivy League schools. And here, the playing field's very level, and I love that about Colorado. But I am passionate and perhaps even insane about the outdoors. And I am a skier as well. I skied to earn for the Denver Public Schools Foundation 125,000 vertical feet in one day. I actually did it 3 times. Those of you who track your skiing know that that's really crazy. But that was my winter activity, and I think we should have a governor's ski cup. All right?
Looking forward to that.
But what do you do in the summer in Colorado? And I started climbing the 14ers when I was 54 years old. I finished all 58 by the time I was 60. I'm often asked, what was your favorite one? And I say, the last one.
Thank you, Donna. Noel.
So being born here, obviously I love this place, and I've traveled a lot around the world, and I'm always glad to come back. Colorado is an amazing place, and one of the special parts is, for a young kid that always got picked last for flag football, to someday be running for governor, say you can come a long way, and this community lets you do that. Now, what I also love to do is ski, like everybody it seems like on this panel. I taught skiing early on when I was 19 or 20 up in Vail, and I always said, if things don't work out, I can come back and be a ski instructor. But you can only do that in the wintertime, and so in the summertime, like Don, I don't climb mountains, but what I do is ride and not a bike. So I take my motorcycle up into the mountains, and there is nothing like on a Saturday or a Sunday morning at 7 a.m. to be riding up in the mountains and to smell that fresh air, and you just feel what Colorado's all about. So between the winter on skis, the summer on my motorcycle, I do wonder though, as governor, will I get tickets by my tail from the Highway Patrol? I don't know, Donna. What's the deal?
Well, thank you, Noel. So with our last 20 minutes, we're going to keep the microphone down at Noel, and we're going to provide some closing statements. Anything that you may not have been able to comment on, that'll be your opportunity as we work back down the table. So go ahead, Noel. Closing statements.
Well, thank you all for
2
being
minutes.
here. Obviously, there's a panel of great people that are very thoughtful and care about this state. The question is, who is the right person to lead us forward? I have spent a lifetime working on key issues in our state, not just having ideas or suggesting what others can do, but actually doing them myself. And I think we can't continue to just ride the wave of opportunity and good fortune that we have at this state in our economy, in our jobs market, without recognizing that the underpinning of our state is not strong. Whether it is our roads that are $9 billion behind in what we need to spend on them, whether it's our education system where 50% of our schools operate 40 days a week. If we're going to solve that, it will take more resources. Now, I agree, we shouldn't be going to the taxpayer and asking for more resources if we can better utilize what we have. And as governor, I will spend the first part of my administration, the first 6 months, looking at ways to do that. But I am not so naive to say that we can solve a $9 billion problem in transportation infrastructure or billions of dollars in education funding, being in a situation where 50% of our state colleges will be without funding from the state within the next 3 to 4 years. We have to address those issues. We have a healthcare system that is being taken out from underneath us in Washington. What I will do is join with other Western governors to build a coalition through state compacts to build a single-payer system that works for all of Colorado, because we all need health insurance. We have real challenges in this state. If we're going to move forward, if we look back 20 years from now and said, we did our job. My name is Noel Ginsburg. I'm running for governor. I would love your support. Most importantly, I would love to join with you to address these key issues that we have in our state. They're not easy, but we can bring Colorado forward. With your help, together we can make a difference.
Thanks, Noel. Donna Lynn.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here. And one thing you should know about me, and I'm going to say Cynthia, is we work for the state of Colorado right now. and I'm a little overdue for my meeting. And it's very important for, I think, the two of us. We didn't rehearse this. I start at 6:45 in the morning working for the state, and I'm on vacation right now, just so you know. And I should explain what it is that I do for the state and why it's so important. So lieutenant governors, historically and in other states, are a whole variety of different kinds of people. The governor had an idea, and that is that any large organization needs a chief operating officer. It needs somebody, to use the overused expression, to make sure the trains are on time, to make sure that we are being accountable as a state, that we're thinking about efficiency, effectiveness. We call it the third E, elegance. That's customer service. So we have 31,000 state employees. I know many of them, and I know the kind of work that they do, the dedication they have. And a leader of the state has to be able to understand how to lead those people, not how to tear them down, because they are here to serve you and to work creatively on problems. That's the work that I do every day as the chief operating officer. The 19 departments report to me, and I work on the issues. They can be budget, they can be policy, they can be really delivering results, and I think that's a critical skill that we need in the state of Colorado. I'm running because November 8th was a threshold moment, I think, for a lot of us. And despite party differences, I think we have to restore trust in government. It's important because, as I said, many people come to work with the best intentions, and I think I'm in a great place to do that. With the experience I have in government and the private sector, I can also build the bridges, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you in the future. Thank you very much. And if I leave before the last couple of people, that's simply because I have to get back to my day job.
Thanks, Donna. Cynthia Kaufman, final comments for 2 minutes.
Well, one of the things, many things, but one of the things we haven't gotten to talk about that is very important to me in my current role as Attorney General, and I think is a significant responsibility of the governor of the state of Colorado, is keeping people in this state safe. And I think it's something that you deal with as you are selling communities and homes. People want to know that they are going to be protected and secure where they are. We have seen changes in Colorado in this regard as we have grown. And you only have to look at what has happened the last few weeks and the loss of 3 law enforcement officers, tragically, to understand that we have to be very mindful of not only supporting and protecting our law enforcement, but we have some issues of crime and criminality and public safety that we also must address to make this a livable place. And so that is a priority for me as a candidate for governor. I am so grateful that I have the opportunity to live in this state and to work with folks like you who know your communities, who care about the issues in Colorado, and who support those of us who govern. So today I ask for your support first in a primary election, which is June 26th, if you don't have that on your calendars. And I would appreciate you getting to know more about me as a candidate and the chance to interact with you. And I'm always happy to come and visit with your groups in the places where you live. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cynthia. Victor Mischel, 2 minutes.
41 years ago, I was sleeping on a floor. My mother, some of you know, is legally blind and deaf. Unfortunately, she left my father when I was 11 years old, and I left my 2 older sisters behind to take care of her. We moved around often. We were almost homeless several times. So I know what it is to overcome incredible adversity. But I also know what it is to rise up and become successful. And we should be celebrating success, not demonizing it. I'm a product of the public schools. I'm a product of public higher education. Actually, I've taught at 2 state universities. I came at this when I was 21 years old. I started my very first business. People said it couldn't be done. Well, we proved them wrong. And when we came here 3 decades ago, we in fact not only just created a new telecom company, but a new entire industry of the way wireless devices were sold. Again, it was told it couldn't possibly be done. Last year when I started my campaign, we had very low name identification. Today we have over 45,000 Facebook supporters. We have supporters across the whole state. If you're tired of where we are in our politics, if you're tired of career politicians that are problem talkers but not problem solvers, then I'm your candidate. I've been a reformer my whole life. I've been somebody that's challenged the status quo. I'm the only candidate on either side that's not taking any special interest money, zero. We're running with small donations across the whole state. And we're going to put the people first. I've been putting people first my whole life, whether it's starting a charity, whether it's serving on a school board. And I think those types of reforms are exactly what's needed. We only elect outsiders only 2% of the time statewide today across the entire country. If we're going to deal with our politicization, our polarization of where we are as a society, we're going to have to start bringing in reformers, people that are going to challenge it, who are not career politicians, who are going to serve and go right back to the private sector. I'm that kind of a candidate. I'm that kind of a man. You can learn more about me. I have my newspaper at all of your tables. Thank you guys so much for coming out this morning. God bless. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victor. Mike Johnston, final comments for 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. I think it's easy if you look around the country today. All you have to do is open Facebook or Twitter or turn on the nightly news, and you probably find yourself asking some version of the question of, how did we get here? How did we get to a place where the country feels as divided and as dysfunctional as it does right now? To me, there's a more important question, which is, how do we get out of here? And I think about, as we were talking this morning about transportation, you think about many of the first generations of Coloradans who walked up to those Rocky Mountains for the first time and looked at that divide, and that divide felt uncrossable. And then we crossed it. And on the other side of that divide, we were able to build good schools and roads and hospitals you could afford. We built this state into one of the shining examples that it is now. Well, today,